Prompt framework number 4, CRISPE. The CRISPE prompt framework is a method for designing prompts aimed at maximizing clarity, relevance, and precision in AI-generated responses. The acronym CRISPE stands for context, role, intent, specificity, parameters, and execution. Each component addresses a different aspect of prompt design to produce high-quality outputs, especially useful for complex tasks, technical content, or when specific formatting is needed. Here's a detailed look at each element in the CRISPE framework. 1. Context. Purpose. Context sets up the background or situation in which the response will be used, helping the AI understand the purpose of the prompt and any relevant details that shape its answer. Examples of context. Audience insight. Describe the intended reader or user. E.g., this information is for small business owners. Situation or background details. Explain any relevant scenarios. E.g., the user is planning a budget for a startup. Previous interactions or reference points. Add continuity if the response relates to prior prompts. E.g., this is a follow-up question on data analysis techniques. Example context segment. This article will be part of a financial literacy series aimed at young adults looking to build savings. The user is a beginner gardener looking for easy-to-grow plants that don't require much maintenance. Best practices. Provide essential background, keep context concise, but cover key details to avoid misinterpretation. Align with audience needs. Ensure context is relevant to the target audience's level of understanding or interest. Support continuity. If part of an ongoing conversation, briefly restate previous details to provide continuity. 2. Role. Purpose. Assigning a role to the AI prompts it to adopt a certain perspective, tone, or expertise level, shaping its response style and the depth of its insights. Examples of roles. Professional personas. Define roles like financial advisor, tech support specialist, or nutrition coach. Educational perspectives. Use roles like teacher explaining basic chemistry, or personal trainer offering workout advice. Creative or fictional personas. For creative tasks, assign roles like storyteller or sci-fi writer imagining a futuristic city. Example role segment. Respond as if you're a financial advisor explaining investment basics to a beginner. Imagine you are a travel guide suggesting eco-friendly travel tips for a family vacation. Best practices. Match role to content type. Choose roles that align with the knowledge level or tone required. Be clear and direct. Specify a precise role to avoid overly generic responses. Adapt expertise level. For technical subjects, choose a role with the right expertise, such as beginner or expert level. 3. Intent. Purpose. The intent defines the primary goal or outcome expected from the response. This component focuses on aligning the response with the specific result the user wants. Examples of intent. Informative intent. Provide a clear explanation of, or summarize the key points of. Instructional intent. Outline steps for, or describe a process for. Persuasive or motivational intent. Encourage readers to consider, or highlight the benefits of. Example intent. Segment. The intent is to help the user understand the basics of personal budgeting in a practical way. Explain the benefits of adopting a plant-based diet in simple, persuasive language. Best practices. Define clear outcomes. State whether the goal is to inform, guide, inspire, or persuade the reader. Align with user's end goal. Make sure the intent matches the user's objective, whether that's understanding a concept or making a decision. Avoid vague descriptions. Use direct language to avoid ambiguity in the intended purpose. 4. Specificity. Purpose. Specificity narrows down the scope of the response, providing focus to prevent overly broad or irrelevant answers. It helps the AI pinpoint exactly what's needed. Examples of specificity. Detail level. Specify whether a high-level overview or detailed explanation is required, e.g., in-depth analysis versus brief summary. Topic boundaries. Define particular areas of focus. Focus on the nutritional benefits, not the environmental impact. Examples or subtopics. Ask the AI to include specific examples or address particular subtopics. Example specificity segment. Focus on budgeting techniques that don't require advanced financial knowledge. Provide at least 3 examples of cost-effective marketing strategies for small businesses. Best practices. Limit scope to essentials. Avoid requesting too broad a response by specifying the area or depth of coverage. Include relevant examples. If helpful, request examples, case studies, or illustrations that clarify the topic. Avoid overloading details. Strike a balance between useful specificity and overly restricting the AI's response. 5. Parameters. Purpose. Parameters outline any additional formatting, length, or style requirements for the response, making it easier for the AI to produce a result that meets presentation expectations. Examples of parameters. Length and format. Define the response length, e.g. in 150 words, or format, e.g. list format. Stylistic instructions. Provide guidance on tone such as formal, casual, motivational, etc. Structure requirements. If relevant, specify structure, such as use bullet points, include subheadings, or respond in 3 steps. Example. Parameter segment. Write a 300-word summary in a friendly tone, using bullet points for each key point. Answer in a formal tone with a 2-paragraph structure. Best practices. Clearly define length and structure. Specify word count or structural guidelines to control the output's form. Match style to audience. Choose tone and style that align with the reader's needs and context. Limit overly rigid constraints. Too many restrictions can make the response feel forced or awkward. 6. Execution. Purpose. Execution is about ensuring the AI follows the prompt's instructions as intended, focusing on clarity, coherence, and logical order. This component is vital in complex tasks or layered prompts, where each part of the response builds upon the previous ones. Considerations for execution. Flow and coherence. Make sure the prompt structure leads to a logical, well-organized response. Clarity of instruction. Avoid ambiguity by clearly articulating each aspect of the prompt, using concise language. Step-by-step instructions. For multi-step tasks, break down instructions so the AI knows the sequence in which to respond. Example execution segment. Begin with a brief definition, followed by 2 examples, and end with a summary of key takeaways. Provide each benefit in a separate bullet point, including a short example where relevant. Best practices. Guide logical sequence. For complex prompts, clearly indicate the order or structure of the response. Keep instructions clear and direct. Avoid overly complex language to prevent confusion. Provide examples where needed. Use examples to clarify any nuanced or detailed instructions. Putting it all together. Here's an example of a prompt using the CRISPE Framework. Context. This is for a blog post on personal finance aimed at beginners who are learning how to budget. Role. Imagine you are a financial coach advising a beginner in a friendly, supportive manner. Intent. The goal is to explain the importance of budgeting and introduce 3 easy budgeting methods. Specificity. Focus on methods that require no complex math, like the envelope method, the 50-30-20 rule, and the zero-based budget. Parameters. Write in a friendly tone, using bullet points for each budgeting method, and keep the length to around 300 words. Execution. Start with a brief introduction on why budgeting is important, then explain each method in a separate bullet point with a short description. Complete prompt. You're a financial coach writing a blog post for beginners on budgeting. Start with a brief introduction to the importance of budgeting, then introduce 3 beginner-friendly methods: the envelope method, the 50-30-20 rule, and the zero-based budget. Keep explanations simple and avoid complex math. Use a friendly tone and bullet points for each budgeting method, and keep the post around 300 words. Benefits of using the CRISPE framework: enhanced precision and clarity. Each component ensures that the prompt is detailed enough for the AI to deliver relevant and on-target responses. Audience-centered focus. Context and role clarify the expected audience and perspective, leading to responses that resonate with readers. Improved structure and flow. Parameters and execution help manage the response's format and organization, improving readability and coherence. Flexibility for complex tasks. CRISPE is ideal for tasks requiring structured or multi-step outputs, as it guides the AI through a well-defined sequence. The CRISPE prompt framework is especially beneficial for professional, educational, or technical prompts that require high precision and structured outputs, ensuring responses that are tailored, relevant, and easy to understand. If you want to learn more, subscribe the channel. Make sure to click the like button.